Inside Stuff is proud to be sponsored by Geeking Out. Check them out at geekingout.net for your smarter business solutions. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for listening. Thank you for being a part of this. And welcome to the official Inside Stuff Podcast. Man, I just love the way that sounds. What is that, a trumpet or a saxophone? I'm not too sure. I'm not the music expert, but I am your NBA expert. And today we got a lot to talk about. Top headlines. Kawhi Leonard is back. Yes, Kawhi Leonard is back. The Claw is back. Who can tell me where that movie's from? Anybody? Let me know. OKC Thunder and their woes. They're struggling a little bit over there. It's quiet. Who do we blame? The coach, the players? I don't know. We'll get into it and we'll talk about that. And from there, we're going to move on to the Houston Rockets. Top of the league. Top of the West. Winning games. They're doing things. There's a lot to talk about in Houston. We're going to discuss a little bit about the rookie ladder, talk about all the young talent around the NBA, and who actually has the best chance of winning the Rookie of the Year award. And if we're talking about the rooks, then we got to talk about the MVP race, because we need to know who's the best player in the league, or who's the best player in the world, who's the best player right now. All of that on the show today. We're going to talk about it. But before we get into it, we do have a guest on the show. We're going to get him in on a phone interview, my main man, Jay Belafonte, a.k.a. Laker Nation. We're going to hear his thoughts and we're going to hear what he has to say. All of that on today's show. Let's go. Let's get it started. So Kawhi Leonard is officially back for the Spurs. He debuted last night. Unfortunately, the Mavericks kind of spoiled the debut. They ended up losing 95-89. Kawhi Leonard was on restricted minutes. He only played for 16 minutes, so he left, roughly around like the end of the third quarter. 13 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block, 50% field goal percentage. That is Kawhi in a nutshell. An all-around basketball player. He was on a, minute restriction. And for a guy that hasn't played basketball since last year, that's pretty damn good. So I'm not really too sure, about his injury. I'm not, because I know when he got hurt initially, I'm pretty sure it was his ankle, right? Or unless they diagnosed him with the same problem that he has now. I'm not too sure about that. But all I know is that he's already missed 27 games. He has this quadriceps injury. And for those of you that don't know what it is, it's basically a condition that causes pain and weakness in his knee. And it's basically, from what I read, it's due to overuse of the knee. I'm not sure if it's specifically the knee, but it said that with that specific ligament or joint, whatever it is due to overuse. So essentially, he's just probably putting too much weight on it or stepping on the hardwood too much. But that's basically what it is. So the only thing that concerns me with his injury is that if it's going to be reoccurring. You don't want to take these knee injuries lightly. They can become a reoccurring problem if you don't give them time to fully heal and, develop and get their strength back to what it used to be. I mean, come on, there's really no rush to get Kawhi back. I know they want him back, obviously. They've already, the Spurs have already taken some losses this year, but I wouldn't rush it. They're playing good basketball. I'm not an expert, so I can't. This is just what my opinion is. If a doctor comes in and he tells me, "Oh, it's nothing to worry about," then all right, whatever. Then I guess there's nothing to worry about. So regardless, until something happens, he's looking great. He played good. He played good ball, just as you would expect from Kawhi. And the Spurs are lucky to have him back. They haven't even lost 10 games yet, and now they get Kawhi Leonard back. So expect them to start competing even more. I mean, they're number 3 in the West. They can chase down the Warriors. I mean, shoot, they can even chase down the Rockets. The Rockets are on fire right now, but the Spurs are the Spurs, and you can't ever really count them out. We're going to run down a few other injuries going on around the league. Markelle Fultz. So the 76ers, they released a medical statement that said he will continue ongoing physical therapy and maintenance while participating in increased strength and conditioning training and elevated on-court basketball activities. The 76ers medical team, in coordination with Dr. Ben Kibler, will gauge his readiness in approximately 3 weeks. So essentially, he's being reevaluated. They're gonna keep him in his same, I guess, what is this, rehab that they've had him on, and in about 3 weeks they're gonna reevaluate him and see how he feels. Now I've read other reports that said he isn't experiencing soreness in his right shoulder anymore, but the teams are unsure when he'll return to the court. So there's a lot of uncertainty there with the Philadelphia 76ers and Markelle Fultz. I mean, come on. They have trusted their process. They have trusted their process for what is this, year 3 now that that this is happening. I don't think the Sixers are in any rush to get Markelle Fultz back. Of course, they probably want him now, but it seems like, I don't know. I would say it's bad luck that they're, whenever they draft somebody, they're never ready to go immediately. They always have to wait a year. I'd be upset. Maybe that's just my opinion as a fan. But when you're behind, closed doors, maybe they have a different strategy plan. I don't really know, but it's just weird that, every time they draft somebody, they always have to go through these injuries and growing pains before they can actually get them on the court. Markelle Fultz, so it just sounds like he's going to keep missing weeks, and we'll see when he gets back on the court. Marcus Morris, not Markieff, Marcus, will miss an extended amount of time with a lingering left knee injury. He's been in and out of the lineup in recent weeks. There is no timeable return. You can expect Aaron Baines and or Daniel Theis to see more playing time. They'll probably give the starting position to Baines. That's kind of a blow for the Boston Celtics. I think only because they can't rotate Morrison, Baines, and Theis. But, you pretty much get the same production from Morris and Baines. They're both big guys that can rebound the ball. They can both hit like the perimeter three, and they can knock down a nice little mid-range for you. They're both scrappy players. Aaron Baines comes from that San Antonio system. Not recently, but he's played in the San Antonio system, and anybody who's played in that system, played under Pop, always turns out to be a good player or always gets better. So I don't see them missing too much from Marcus Morris, other than the fact that they just can't rotate. They can't rotate that deep anymore in that position. So they're gonna have to just sit on that, and I think they'll be all right. They're gonna keep winning games. No big deal. Let them rest. Bring it back when it matters the most. The Los Angeles Clippers, Danilo Gallinari. So Doc Rivers actually said this. He said Gallinari will miss a couple of games with this new glute injury he suffered sometime after a game during the fourth quarter. So he suffered some type of injury during the fourth quarter, a glute injury. Glute, is that like gluteus maximus? Trying to say he got a butt injury or something? I don't know. I don't know what the specifics of the injury is. But anyways, he's going to miss a couple of weeks. The Clippers don't really miss him at all. It's kind of messed up to say, but they're winning games. They've been winning games. And they've been a very hot and cold team this year. So, I don't know. When it feels like they're not going to win, they win. And when it feels like they're going to win, they lose. So, I'm sure they want Danilo back, but they're not really hurting without him. And as for other injuries around the league, nothing too crazy. It's kind of, it's good. It's always good news when there aren't too many injuries. You have a couple players, missing a game or 2 games, but they'll be back within a game or 2. It's no big deal. Everybody else seems to be okay. No major injuries being announced, so that's always a positive. OKC Thunder and their woes. Seriously, what's going on over there? I was watching their last game, and it seemed like things were going really well. This was the game. I'm talking about the game versus the Hornets. And I don't know what happened. Things just changed all of a sudden, and they let the Hornets come back. I believe it was late in the third. They just, let them make a run. And from there, the momentum just completely changed. And it was in the Hornets' favor for the rest of the game. Paul George had a little bit to say after the game. He said, "For the talent that we have, obviously, this is not what we want to be, but we're going to remain optimistic, though, about the future and what we can do. Once we can find a way to really do it night in and night out, it's no panic mode. But we have to start playing better. It's getting to a point where we can't allow ourselves to be at this point. We can say we're going to figure it out. We can say all that, but at some point it's got to stop. I mean, he pretty much, he hit the nail, basically, because there's a lot of talk, before and after games, how they got to do this, they got to do that, but at some point you got to start executing. They're not exactly where you would expect them to be, and I think that's probably the biggest disappointment with them. They're winning games and they're not getting blown out, and it's not like they started the season in 0-10 or whatever, something like that. They're 12-14. They're 9th in the West. They're last in their division. I think that's pretty big. Sometimes people overlook the divisions in basketball, but you have to remember you play each team in your division 4 times. So you're going to play those teams in your division the most. So even if they're not, they have no correlation to making the playoffs, it's still important because you're going to see those teams the most throughout your schedule. And you want to be able to win those games. Those teams, they're used to your gameplay, so you want to be able to capitalize on that and win those games. So they're last in their division. They're 7-9 in their conference. They do have a winning home record, but they're 2-5 in their division. They're 3-10 on the road. So a lot of under 500 records I just pointed out right now. I'm not really sure who's to blame at this point. At first you really want to blame the players because obviously you have 3 all-stars on the team. But at the end of the day, it's the coach's job. He's the one that leads the pack. It's the coach's job to be able to get everything organized and get the team moving. And if they're not winning games and they're not doing that, then you have to point the finger at Billy Donovan. Melo left the locker room after that Hornets game with Billy Donovan still at the podium. So by NBA rule, the players must make themselves available to the media after the game. So he got a nice little fine for that. It seems like just the locker room chemistry is not there. They all just kind of got tossed onto this team together. Russell was obviously already there, but he has his own style of playing basketball, and Paul George, who's an all-star, has his style, and then Carmelo, who's an all-star, has his style. So when you have these players with all-star capabilities, all with 3 different ways of playing basketball, then it's kind of hard to just be able to throw them on a team and expect them to gel. They just have their way of playing, and none of them have been extremely successful in chasing a title. So I think that might be part of the reason why, because they're very specific players. They play a certain way. So not to say that they can't win the championship together, but I think in order for them to start to gel, sometimes you have to give up a little bit to get more. You know what I mean? And I think that's kind of what has to happen in OKC. They're just not playing good, and it's plain and simple. Even when they're winning games, it doesn't look pretty. Like, it doesn't look like the best basketball. You know what I mean? So I don't know what's going to happen there. The Fizdale situation was kind of rough. They already fired the Memphis head coach. Would they fire Billy Donovan? Is he going to get fired before All-Star break? I don't know, but I think it's a serious question that, we should consider, because anything can happen, right? Let me know what you guys think. Don't forget, you can always hit us up at InsideStuff NBA on Twitter. That's at InsideStuff NBA on Twitter. Or just send me a DM on Instagram. Our Instagram is always live, and we're always checking it at InsideStuff on Instagram. So OKC's going to figure out that situation. The Houston Rockets don't have to figure out anything because they are rocking. Number 1 in the West, number 1 in the league, 10-game winning streak. They haven't lost since Chris Paul came back. This guy James Harden is playing on another level. You have an all-star in Chris Paul right next to him. They fit so perfectly together. And, man, the game couldn't come any easier for everybody else on the team because of the fact that they have Harden and Chris Paul. They're both ball-dominant players. They both can create their own shot off the dribble, off the catch and shoot, whatever, dude. They can get to the basket. They make the right choice. They're smart. It's incredible the amount of IQ that's on the floor when those two are played together. Seriously. They're playing so good that for the first time, I actually think that they might be able to take on the Warriors. And that's a pretty bold statement. I know everybody's going to be like, man, you crazy. You know what you're talking about. You're bugging, this and that. KD, Steph, and, Splash Brothers, and Draymond, all of that, right? Yeah, I know. I get it. The Warriors are an extremely good team, and I'm not taking anything from them. But the Houston Rockets are number 1 in the West. And right now, the Warriors are a very good team still, but they don't exactly look like the Warriors from 2 years ago when Steph was just cashing out from half-court line. You know what I mean? So the Rockets are moving, and they're hungry right now. I know Chris Paul is hungry. Listen, outside of the Wizards, I would love to see Chris Paul win a championship. James Harden, if he, because he's on the team, yeah, that's great if he wins one. But Chris Paul, he's been a floor general for so long. And I know he's been trying to find himself the right team to just be able to compete. And I think he will finally get the chance to be in the Western Conference Finals. And if he's lucky enough, and if the Rockets keep going the way that they're going, they might even find themselves in the NBA Finals. So watch out for the Rockets. They're going strong into the All-Star break. The second half of the season is going to be big for them. They got to stay healthy. Chris Paul, of course, has to stay healthy. I don't even care if they put him on a minute restriction, but he has to stay healthy. He is not any good to them if he gets hurt. So limit his minutes or whatever, but keep that man healthy. Have him do any extra exercises that keeps his body nimble and, ready to move. So it looks like we got my main man, Jay Belafonte, on the line. Our guest is here. So we're going to hop on the phone line with him, and we're going to get to talking and chatting. We're going to see what he thinks. I have Mr. Jay Belafonte, a.k.a. Laker Nation, although he's not so Laker Nation.
God, Jesus.
We'll get into that a little bit later. But the rookie ladder, the race for the rookie of the year, man. You already know who's leading the way. Big boy Ben Simmons.
The Canadian.
Is
he Canadian?
No, he's
not Canadian.
Australian. Yeah, he's an Aussie, dude.
No way.
Yeah, he's an Aussie.
Ah. Excuse my language.
That 45 looking you on 20-year-old. That 45 young boy.
Yeah, he's pretty big, huh? For point guard.
I just remember when he got drafted, he was tall and whatever. But then that entire year that he was off, dude,
let him bulked up, dude. Let him grow into his.
He got swole all of a sudden. I was like,
that process. What are they doing in Philly?
All right, so Ben Simmons leading the way. He was named Eastern Conference Rookie of the Month in November. He's averaging 18 points per game, 7 assists, 9 rebounds.
That's what you want.
But look, this is the part that I really like. This is what I find very intriguing. He's shooting 50%, right? His field goal percentage is 50%, which is solid. So Mr. Meg,
that's hella good.
That's hella good. Why? Because he's getting to the basket. You know what his 3-point percentage is? 0.
Oh, nice.
He's only taken 8 threes the whole season, and he missed all of them. And so
okay, I might need to pay more attention to this guy.
I don't need to shoot the threes because I'm getting to the rack.
Then he's a create point guard.
He's a create point guard, and when it's not there, he just ground and pound, baby, LeBron James style.
Yeah, because he's big.
Puts his head down.
He's what did he have? 6'6"?
Let's look it up, man. I think he's bigger than that, bro.
6'8"?
He might be around 6'8".
He LeBron size?
He might be LeBron size.
And if he gets bulked up even more?
He's 6'10". He's bigger than LeBron.
Get the fuck out of here. 6'10" point guard? No wonder.
I think they're giving that to him, though. I think they're giving that. Let's put him at 6'9".
Come on, bro.
I think they're giving that to him. I think 6'10" is a stretch.
Get the hell out of here.
230 pounds.
230?
He's big boy.
He threw on at least a good 30, 40 pounds.
He probably threw on probably 15, 20 pounds of just muscle.
And straight muscle.
Yeah. He's big boy, bro.
Nah, he probably came out of college 190, 200. Like I said, bruh. He put on a good amount.
So I will say this.
This is blowing my mind. I gotta pay attention more to this guy.
He's big.
I gotta watch him more because if those are the stats,
I'm super. Dude, this is the only reason why I like Philly. Cause man, everybody was kind of sort of. Well, maybe not you, but in the East Coast, everybody was a Sixers fan at some point due to Allen Iverson.
I don't watch AI, bro.
Exactly.
I was a fan.
Cause it was yo, I ain't never seen. Yeah, he was balling. I ain't never seen this dude
nobody
just chop
like
up everybody, yo.
Then who came up? Kobe.
Hey man,
that's why I was like you.
That's because Shaq was dogging Dikembe Mutombo. We got.
He was
40-year-old Dikembe.
He was, bruh.
Dikembe barely lifted his arm up for the
the
finger wag.
Oh my god.
Over there, this dude Mutombo just taking Or Shaq taking Mutombo to the rack with him. And then Iverson like, nah, come on, bud, put your hands up. I'm trying. They're killing. My man from Utah Jazz, from New York as well, Donovan Mitchell. He moved up on the rookie ladder, bro, because he's been doing his thing. He's number 2 on the rookie ladder, 17 points a game, 3 assists, 3 rebounds. So, you know, it's all right. 17 points a game is good for a rookie. 41% field goal percentage, 37% three-point percentage. Which is not bad. Could be better, but it's not
rookie numbers.
Bad. Rookie numbers, yeah, like rookie numbers.
Getting used to it.
He's getting PT, though. He's getting 29 minutes.
Exactly.
A game. He's getting about 29 minutes a game. So that's good, dude. He's going to break into his own.
Yeah.
He had a
if
career.
he's getting more minutes, he's just going to get better.
He had a career high the other night. I'm pretty sure he put up like 41, what it was. Anyway, so he's already, you know, if you break 40 plus as a rookie, dude, you know, you know you're feeling comfortable with scoring. So yeah, 41 points. So I like it a lot. I think he's got talent. He seems confident with the ball in his hand, and he can get to the basket. He also went to Duke, dude. So let me just, you know,
they're pro
put
style.
That out there. You know, you have to put that out there. He went to Duke, coached under Coach K.
That's pro style, man.
So, you know, if what I read didn't impress you, you just have to assume that his development is gonna come along. Trust and believe it's gonna happen because he's already been, you know.
I mean, basically, if
prepped,
Ben Simmons wasn't here, he probably would be number 1 right now.
Exactly. And technically, he's thinking of Ben Simmons first.
Yeah, I mean, y'all need man, NBA need to say something about that,
NBA
man.
need to say something about these dudes just skipping out and be like, oh, this is my 3rd rookie year.
You get drafted and skip. You don't do that. You can't do that, man.
Oh, that's funny, man. Anyways, Jason Tatum, number 3 on the list. That boy's been
that's
balling.
what I'm saying.
That boy been balling.
The Celtics, they got some magic with that too, man.
I feel like Jason Tatum is better than Donovan Mitchell.
NBA wise, ready, like he looked like he was just comfortable as soon as they put him into the lineup and stuff.
So he look and he shoots the ball. So he shoots the ball better, 51% from the field goal.
Stretch 3, right?
Yeah, 52% from 3-point.
52% for 3-point.
He's averaging 14 points a game, 5 rebounds, 1 assist because he doesn't touch the ball. He's a catch and shoot, and he's getting 30 minutes of playing time a game.
How's his defense? Good defense?
Ben Simmons is the only rookie that's averaging the most minutes, and obviously because he's, you know, come on, he has to.
Yeah, how's Tatum's defense, though?
His defense is alright, dude. Listen, I think Tatum
3-and-D.
is extremely good.
3-and-D.
He's extremely he's playing for the Celtics, so, you know, they just...
Well, if he's defined as that role, they basically got what they needed then.
Dude, he is literally playing like he's like a 3rd-year player.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. I mean, you can say that about Donovan Mitchell, too, and I get that because... I mean, the Jazz are winning games. They beat the Wizards the other night. They smacked the Wizards by 37. Something like that. It might have been more, and I don't even want to check. Seriously, it was bad. Yeah. So they're 13 and 14 right now. They're 8th in the West. So he's doing his part, but I just feel like Jason Tatum playing on the Celtics. They're number 1 in the East. They're number 2 in the league. He's playing. His role is so much bigger, you know, than Donovan Mitchell's. Because he's on the team that's competing for a championship now. Yeah. So like as a rookie, like dude, your role is super essential. Mm-hmm. So anyways.
Banner.
Speaking of Staples Center and Laker Nation, your boy Kyle Kuzma is number 4 in that rookie ladder.
My boy.
Named Western Conference Rookie of the Month.
If I jump ship, he'd probably be the only reason why I would still watch the Lakers would be Kuzma.
16 points a game, 6 rebounds, 1.5 assists. He's a big man, so.
What's his percentages? Why?
49% field goal percentage,
36%
3-point percentage. Listen, it doesn't matter.
It's another rookie numbers.
Yeah, it's rookie numbers, but about 49% field goal percentage is pretty
nice.
It's pretty damn good. That means but that's, like I said, that's also because he's playing inside the paint like Ben Simmons.
Yeah,
and that's
what he needs to do.
You know what I like about these two, dude? They're playing old school basketball. The ground and pound.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. That's why I like him. That's why I said I had to. I like him, and I wanted to see Ben Simmons
You're
more.
a big man. Listen, I got all respect for you guys that can shoot the, your 4s and the 5s that can shoot the 3.
Exactly.
You're stretch 4, you're stretch 5. But you also have to have the ability to be able to go in the post and just ground and pound something.
Yeah.
You're huge.
Use that body. You can be soft.
Use your body. Use your length. Oh my God! Like seriously, what do they have to jump like 5 inches to get to the rim?
Yeah.
You know how much I have to jump? Exactly.
Hella, bruh.
Playing good basketball, dude, and honestly,
good basketball, man.
They're winning games. The Lakers, they're not as bad as they were last year.
I don't mind it.
They're 10-15. They're 5 games below 500, but look, they're not as bad as they were last year. There's Phoenix is doing worse. Sacramento's doing worse. Memphis is doing worse. Dallas is doing worse.
And those are a couple of those teams are usually top teams.
Exactly. So he's doing his thing. He's obviously the best rookie on his team. We're not even gonna get into Lonzo.
I'm glad Lonzo's getting all the media attention and steering all that pressure away from Kuz.
That's true.
So he can, focus on his game.
Yeah.
That's what he's been doing.
The Mavericks rook Dennis Smith Jr. rounds off the top 5 for the rookie ladder.
Who I wish we drafted instead of
Lonzo.
Him or De'Aaron.
I would love to have had Dennis Smith Jr. too, man. Imagine he could learn from Wall. Oh, God. Anyways.
He's balling. I like him.
14 points a game, 4 assists, 4 rebounds.
See, he has a more spread out stat line than most of the rookies, though.
Yeah.
So that's why I think he's more balling, because he's doing more work.
His team is just, dude, there's 7.
He's got to do more work.
They've already lost 20 games, the Mavericks. Dude,
Big slap to the face to Mark Cuban. What's up?
Bro, they're riding out Dirk Nowitzki's retirement, dude. That's what it is.
Oh, is he giving them one, though?
They gave him already a 2-year extension. I think this is the 2nd year, I think. Maybe, if not only the 1st.
I guess they're in their rebuild stage.
Yeah,
they know what they're doing.
They're going to be there. Yeah, they're going to be there for a little bit, man. They're going to have to hit that come up. I mean, it was a good start with Dennis Smith Jr. I think he is...
They know how to draft them, though. They know how to draft.
I think Dennis Smith is fit exactly where he is. Number 5 on the rookie ladder. No better than the top 4 on there, but no less than the other people on the list. I mean, I got some other rookies on this list too.
He doesn't stand out a little bit more, huh?
Of course, Lonzo Ball. We got people talk about him. Josh Jackson, De'Aaron Fox.
Damn.
Jonathan Isaac, Laurie McKinnon, Frank Nicolich.
Tilakina.
Can't nobody say his name.
The French guy.
No, but he's playing good too.
He's good. I like him.
Malik Monk.
How you doing? Yeah.
Doing all right. Yeah, doing all right. Playing like a rook, making a few mistakes, but also being able to knock down some shots. So playing all right. Idris Adebayo, the dude from Miami, young boy.
Adebayo.
He's cool.
That's my boy.
Yeah, he's hooping. And then of course Markelle Fultz, but like I said, we already know what's going on.
Damn,
he's waiting a year. So I mean, I think the top five rookie list is exactly where it should be. I kind of disagree with Donovan Mitchell at 2nd. I think Tatum should be up there, but for the most part, these are the top 5 anyway. So this is the future of the NBA, man, going forward. This is going to be the next 5-10 years right here. It's pretty crazy. So we're going to round this off with the MVP race, man. As of December 8th, NBA.com MVP ladder has James Harden number 1, LeBron James number 2, Kyrie Irving number 3, Giannis Antetokounmpo number 4, Kevin Durant number 5. That's your list right there, man.
LeBron needs to go. Needs to go down to 4. Put Kyrie and Giannis above him. Yeah. Because they're way more valuable to their team than LeBron is.
Really?
Whatever, dude. Say what you want about Cleveland, dude. They got enough people. They will fall to shit if LeBron goes out.
They will fall to shit if LeBron leaves, dude. Did you see what happened to Miami the first year? They dropped to the worst team in the league, dude.
That makes you most valuable. I guess that makes you most valuable in terms of how, what that means.
In terms of winning games? Yeah, bro. Look. Right now, LeBron James, because he can do everything, he's the best player in the world. He's inside and out.
It's hard for me to hate or
But in terms,
but I have to say, yeah.
Right. As an individual. But in terms of his team and in terms of like what's going on right now in the NBA, man, yeah, man, you're right. I think I would have to put. Well, I don't know about Giannis. I wouldn't put Giannis above him, but I would put Kyrie above LeBron because of the fact that look, if LeBron was doing better than Kyrie, then the Cavs would be number one. You feel me? But they're not.
Exactly.
Boston's number one, and who's leading the way in Boston? That's like when people are like, "Wow!" Of course, you have to give Steph Curry the MVP because he was the best player on the best team, and that's the way you got to look at it.
Yeah.
If you're the best player on on the best team, then obviously he's the best. Kyrie's the best player on his team. James Harden is the best player on his team. Both those teams are number one in their conferences. They're 1 and 2 in the league. So you have to put their best players at the top of the list, right? LeBron is great, and he's doing great things for his team, and of course he's super valuable. But it's the same thing. If you take Kyrie out, they just lost to the Bulls last night when they took Kyrie out. They lost to the Bulls, bro. Where are the Bulls? What are the Bulls record? I gotta pull this up.
Larry.
What are the Bulls record?
Markkinen.
Bulls ain't doing nothing. But you know what I mean? You take one of them out, and it's a struggle. The Bulls they're 6-20. They lost 20 games. They lost 20 games prior to even playing the Celtics.
They lost 20 games.
You feel me? And last night's final score was 108-85. They didn't just beat the Boston Celtics. They took care of them, dude. They went to work. So James Harden has to be number 1 on the list. Kyrie Irving has to be number 2 on the list, in my opinion. LeBron James will be 3. Giannis, I'm okay with Giannis at 4 because he's playing great basketball right now. He's another one that's paving the way. And Kevin Durant, yeah, I guess you have to round off the top 5 with at least one Warriors player. Why not give it to Kevin Durant? You put him in 5 only because of the fact that they're not winning as many games as you would assume they are. They're, like everybody says, and everybody noticed it. They're kind of lackadaisical right now. But I guess, they don't care. They know it's big picture is the playoffs. And
they already know they'll make it. They're
big
good
picture
enough
is the
to
playoffs
make it.
and championship.
They're good enough to make
and
it.
is anybody not picking the Warriors to get to the finals? Because I did. Did you pick anybody else to get to the finals at the beginning of the season? I mean, I'm rooting for the Rockets. Don't get me wrong.
I didn't.
I'm still picks up on everything. Instagram at InsideStuff, on Twitter at InsideStuffNBA. And please check out the website. The website just went out at Geeking Out.
Peep it.
Geekingout.net. Not .com. Geekingout.net/InsideStuff. And I know through the phone line you might not have been able to hear that as clear. So let me repeat it to you one more time. Geekingout.net/InsideStuff. And don't forget to hit us up on Instagram at InsideStuff and on Twitter at InsideStuffNBA. Everything is on the website. Go check it out. Geekingout.net/InsideStuff. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being a part of this. Stay plugged in.
It's 6 o'clock, I'm hopping out of the bed. Rain falling, calling X, but my phone line's dead. I guess my bills ain't paid. No ride to work for the day. Second option, hop the bus, but it's a traffic delay. My boss tripping cause I'm running late and ain't no excuse. When I'm about to be 22, without a whip I can swoop. Feel like I'm finna shoot my own dome with prone to escape. Zoning out, cause working out, I work what I make. My lady calling, bugging, always fussing. Just cause we ain't ballin', but it's hard because the cousin's fucking rich. Cause the husband's hustling. And I ain't fucking touching nothing but a mic. 5 o'clock and off the work, ready to go home and write. But I ain't got a buck to catch the bus, chillin' at the stop. Rain falling hard as ever and it's soaking my socks. Fuck it. Kicked my kicks off and took off my jacket. Rolled my jeans up, beat up in my headphones, blast and blaze some weed up and started laughing. While I'm splashing in puddles like motherfucker struggle. We dancing in the rain. I'ma try to do the same thing. Yeah. Don't nobody wanna dance slow in the rain.